You did?
Yes.
Awesome. Do it again, and I want to get on camera. Alright, so I got back from my trip. Thankfully, it's sunny today, because when I came back from Florida, it was overcast. It was like 30 degrees. There was snow everywhere. I mean, there's still snow on the ground, but if it stays this sunny, a lot of it will melt. It's always a bittersweet trip when I go to Florida and visit my daughter and my family, but this trip was especially so because not only did I have all of those memories and those past ties to reconnect with, but also just the trip itself kind of went sort of horribly as far as my travel arrangements go. My rental car reservation was through a place that wasn't actually in the airport, and they had completely different rules as far as using debit cards goes. So I wasn't able to rent a car, which was stressful. But what's awesome is I have all these connections. I have all these amazing people who looked after me. Special shout out to Luna, Mother Whispers on YouTube, and her husband Ryan. Thank you guys so much for putting me up in Jacksonville and picking me up from the airport and stuff. They were great too, had a lot of fun. Ex Jehovah's Witnesses looked after me. Tony Prime, again, I gotta express the deepest gratitude for him putting me up, showing me a good time, took me on a fishing trip, a charter, and it was the most beautiful day ever for a fishing trip. It was perfect. We had a lot of fun, but not only did the XJW community blow me away again with how awesome they are and how tight these bonds can be. I mean, we are family, but on top of that, I was actually really blown away by my own family, and not just my cousin who's disfellowshipped. He's always great. He's never shunned me. Thank you also for showing me a good time and putting me up, but also my own mom and dad were really cool. Dad especially. I don't know, what goes through their minds or his mind half the time, but I do know that he's gotten to a place where he realizes that our relationship is important, and more important than worrying about the silent treatment and all those other awful things that they're encouraged to do to their own family, their own flesh and blood. And honestly, I feel almost guilty for how well my family treated me, because there's so many of my friends and my family, like my cousin, who are being shunned so hard, and they're in places in their lives where they really need the support network, and they don't have it. That's not to say that I have a big support network with my own family. That's not true, but at least they're cool with, you know, a camping trip, a hug, you know, and, you know, that's huge. It really is. True, we didn't have any real heart-to-heart conversations like parents might do with their son they haven't seen in a long time, but honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm at a point now I don't want to talk about the JW stuff with them ever. You know, if they happen to watch my videos and hear something I have to say that changes their mind on something, that's awesome, but otherwise I'm not going to bring it up. You know, you do you, whatever. Honestly, I don't think they're very active anyway, but they seem to be doing well, and that was a relief. And then there is, on the other side of that though, was my half-brother. One of my half-brothers showed up with his family, and they were, I don't even know why they came at all, because they were very uncomfortable with me being there. They didn't speak or look at me unless spoken to. Towards the end of their little visit at the campsite, you know, everybody was exchanging hugs, and I was just kind of standing there like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna happen. And sure enough, they just kind of went past me, skipped me on the hug train, which is fine. I don't care. Like, and what's hilarious about the fact that they came out at all is, you know, that in that car ride on the way to visit me and my folks, they had the talk, right? So they're driving towards the campsite, and my half-brother likely turned to his wife and his kids and said the following: now, your Uncle Brian's gonna be there, and it may be tempting to, you know, strike up conversation with him, but, you know, we gotta remember, not only is he no longer Jehovah's Witness, but he makes apostate videos, you know, yada yada yada. Don't bring up Jehovah, you know, etc, etc, etc. And I was talking to my friend, my very good friend, Stacy Lopez, about it, and I said, you know, we both agreed that it's kind of fun. Like, as tragic as it is that you have these ties that are kind of broken and damaged and warped into a very perverted family situation, but there is a flip side to it that's kind of fun. You know, you feel like you have like this power, you know, like they're scared of you because you're an evil apostate. You know, what's he gonna say? You know, that's kind of fun. Yeah, it was funny because, you know, my dad, he texted me while me and my daughter were at a theme park, and he said, you know, on your way back, could you pick up some hamburger buns? Your brother and his family are coming over. And I said, does he know I'm here? And then at some point, my mom was talking about how she had some wine for my half-brother's wife. And I said, yeah, she's gonna need it when she sees me. You know, those little things are just fun. And hopefully those moments sort of trivializes the whole thing, and maybe that's a way to get through to your family. You know, if you just trivialize how petty and silly the behavior is, these people are going out of their way to act different around me because I don't like the religion that they're a part of. You know? So what? Why should anyone take that so personally? You know, it's just the same as politics or anything else. You disagree on something. oh well, life goes on. You can still be warm and appreciate the parts of each other's personality that you can relate to. There's only that one disconnect, you know? I mean, they're civil and probably warm to, well, maybe not too many worldly types, because, you know, we were trained not to get close and chummy with people in the world, but it still happens, you know? I remember as a witness, I mean, I'm probably a bad example because I've always been kind of outgoing towards people, even if I distrusted them, you know, a little bit, being worldly, but I'm sure it happens, right? They don't completely shun all worldly people entirely.
How may I help you?
Hi, yes, let's see. I think I will have your sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin and your bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
Anything else?
That'll do.
I'm sorry?
That'll do.
432 first window.
Don't judge me. I came back from vacation and like all my fitness and nutrition habits are just destroyed. But I'll get back on it as soon as I get my life organized again, back on track, you know. Haven't even unpacked, like that's how it's, you know, it just takes me a long time to process things. It's one of my weaknesses. But and then of course there was me and my daughter. I had such a great visit. I'm so proud of her. She's getting big, and she's 9 years old. She's smart, she's beautiful, she's getting prettier every time I see her. She wears glasses now, which is, you know, funny, and she's into science in a big way. It's like her favorite topic in school now. She wore a shirt that said something about the atom, you know, and that made me so proud because science was always my favorite subject in school as well. And that gives me a lot of hope, you know. Someone who's passionate about science, I feel like they're on the road to being a critical thinker. And we talked about critical thinking a bit. I talked about it with her. She said, I know what critical thinking is. It's when you make fun of things. I was like, well, kind of, but it's more than that too. It means you don't believe everything people tell you right away. You make sure it's true.
Sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin and bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, 432. How may I help you?
Yeah, you gotta fact check. You gotta make sure it's true. Do some research. Thank you. And she seemed to understand what I meant. She's so smart. In fact, we were swimming and I was talking about how cold the water is. Thank you. And sorry, I'm on my way to work. I'm trying to multitask here. Don't have a lot of time. But yeah, I was talking about how cold the water is. And I said, yeah, this water's freezing. It's gotta be like 20 degrees. I was exaggerating, as I always do. I exaggerate everything just to be kind of fun and humorous, right? And she goes, well, Daddy, it can't be 20 degrees because if it was below 30 degrees, it'd be frozen. And yeah, the freezing point is what, 30 degrees? 35? I don't remember. But 9-year-old just schooled me on water temperatures. I was so freaking proud of her. So freaking proud of her just the whole time. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better daughter like those. I mean, she's absolutely perfect. She breaks my heart, let me tell you. It's so tough. It's so tough the day I drop her off to leave to go our separate ways. It wrecks me, man, let me tell you. But it was a really good visit with her, and I am very hopeful about the future. I'm thinking things will change for the better very soon on that front. So anyways, yeah, I'm just sort of venting, guys, about the trip. There were some other things I wanted to talk about related to my trip and family and everything, but might have to save it for another video because I don't remember what it was. And also, I'm at work and it's time to feed my face greasy, disgusting, processed McDonald's food. So I'm gonna put a clip at the end here, some of my trip. Hope you guys enjoy it. Faithful Slave, I'm out.